Hello, people. How are you guys doing today? I'm Verde. You probably clicked on this video by accident or something. But we are playing Role of Hex today. This time on my original save file. Because, well, I'm no longer testing anything. And actually, let's forfeit this real quick. Because I want to random. Honestly, I just want to talk to you guys today. It is funny because I kinda use this YouTube channel, even though nobody watches it, as something like, I wouldn't say a therapy session because I am not talking about my personal life or anything like that, but I use it to talk about the stuff in general. I love that upgrade. If I can get more of it, that would be fantastic. So what do we have here? We have machine gun. We have missiles. Neither are particularly good for creating large explosions. Let's get machine learning just to have it. Uh, first of all, let's think about a build before doing stuff. Smite cool. Well, Smite has been buffed a bit because of machine learning, so let's try Smite today. That means we will want that, a lot of oversized capacitors. And we will try to value drift a lot, which is good. Anyway, yeah, let's... Well, since we are doing Smite... Oh, a lot of data centers, that's great. Since we are doing Smite, we probably want to... Well, I don't want neither of those. Want either Smite, or more Smite, or anything that helps my... Relearning is just more damage. None of this is more damage. Got more Smite. This one is something. I don't like either of those, but I guess I'll take that. I actually need some way of clearing those guys out. Lubricant, it is basically needed for any... Well, I think this one is very high priority. That guy. Auto barriers. So anyway, what I was talking about, I wanted to talk about what are my goals, more especially Role of Hex in the near future. You know, I don't know if anything else is great with Smite. Perhaps Ignite, but Ignite gives... The issue with Ignite is that it gives skill to flamethrowers instead of the lightning, which could be a problem, could be an issue indeed. We could have no attack speed limit. Let's get self-defense. Self-defense, well, benefits from some barriers, so I don't need to place those anymore, which is great. Let's ramp up the priority of these so I can put this guy on lower priority. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my plans for the near future and for the late future, you know. I wanted to release another game somewhat soon. Reduced cooldown is necessary, thank you. But I don't know when I can do that. Funnily enough, wrong here. Funnily enough, there is... Oh, I forgot to turn off that sound. So that sound is now turned off. Anyway, sorry about that. I don't know when I can do that thing and release another game. Because, well, I don't know if you guys are particularly aware of that, but releasing games takes time. Takes a lot of time, actually. making games in general. And I am fairly early into the development of that. So I'll probably do the 1.5 update before that. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am probably making a dent into Role of Hex. Like, I'm probably causing a lot of destruction with the next update if I am honest with you. What I mean with that, well, basically, I am not very happy with several things within this game, you know? And actually, let's talk about them, right? I probably already told you about those in the past. I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure. But anyway, oh, I like that. I think that's go to priority 2. Anyway, I probably already told you about that, but... Anyway, I really want to change a lot of things. And that's somewhat dangerous. Oh, another data center. I don't know if I'll be able to get that one. Let's try though. Doesn't hurt. So what do I want to change within the game? Well, aside from mostly everything, there are a big list of things that I'm not happy currently with Role of Hex. You know, I was also thinking about releasing a DLC sometime in the future. Honestly, I'll be frank with you guys, it's literally to make money. Yeah, I know that's a horrible thing to say, but Role of Hex is a game that people that already play the game play it like every update that comes around, you know. They come back very frequently, but I don't get new players as frequently. And I know I could fix that, you know, and not release a DLC, but I don't know if I can, to be honest. And I need something to be able to continue living out of this, you know. My day job isn't paying that well, and well, there's that. So I was thinking about releasing a DLC, but worry not, most of the update will be still free. The DLC will just add perhaps some upgrades, some enemies, perhaps a planet. Stuff like that, you know? We will want to have the DLC probably, but at the same time, I want the update to still be an update, you know, and it will be an update because I will change the whole game. Honestly, I've been trying to hold myself to avoid changing unnecessary things, but yeah, I don't think I can avoid it all that much longer. I don't think I can delay it. And there are things within the game that I really want to address. Like, no, so let's get through the list, alright? The out-of-run upgrade system is way too grindy. Don't like that. It's also brainless, and it has, like, aspects that I don't like. Why do I only have 2 of these? Anyway, it has several aspects I don't like. It has too much RNG. It has... like, I don't like it. I really don't like the current out-of-game progression for the game. So, yeah, that will be entirely remade. So, one thing. Another thing, as you can probably say, we can get to very high levels within this game. And I think that the game is suffering from something that I call, well, that I call... I don't have a name for it, but I think the game is suffering from... Basically, imagine the following. You know, you have a game, a card game that you play, right? How many combinations of hands can you have when you draw a hand? Well, if your hand size is 1, the combination is quite literally only the number of cards in the deck, right? If your hand size is 2, it is, well, math. You have to multiply the size of your deck by the size of your deck minus 1. You know, yeah, there is that. And it keeps growing and growing and growing until... Oh yeah, and you have to divide by 2 because that's the number of... Anyway, math. But as you keep increasing your hand size, the number of combinations goes up until a number. If you have a situation where you draw every card of your deck, then you only have one situation. You know? If you draw every card but 1, you have, well, one situation for every card that you didn't draw. You know? And basically that's it. I think that Role of Hex is currently suffering from drawing too many cards. What do I mean by that? Well, every run has access to all upgrades. They feel the same in terms of upgrades, and I don't like that. I want the runs to be different from each other, you know? And I don't know if you get that. I think you do. You people are smart, probably smarter than me. Usually smarter than me. Anyway. So, I think currently Role of Hex is suffering from having too many cards on your hand. Really, Unos again? This planet, I'll tell you. I still haven't figured out what's wrong with its rendering. And that's the only reason why I don't like it. I need to right-click more stuff. Let's right-click growth, if I have it, and yeah. And perhaps stronger gears, so I don't know. Anyway. I think it is actually over there somewhere. Yeah. Perhaps even further, perhaps even there, like... Down there? I know I'm wasting many scans, but I'll get that before it's no longer dormant, like so. How much? Right. Anyway, as I was saying, I think the Role of Hex, I think this game is suffering currently from the lack of variety within the run, just due to the number of upgrades, you know, and I could address that in several ways. I could, like, reduce the number of level ups you get, but that will impact the game feel too much, and I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to, well, to change how you acquire upgrades in general, you know? If I give you more agency over your upgrades and less RNG, currently there is so much RNG that the runs become all the same, like balls of oatmeal is what I'm trying to say. Imagine you have a bowl of oatmeal, you know, or rice or any other cereal. And as much as they are very much different in their precise orientation of every grain, they feel the same. And I feel that that's what's happening. You know, and I came with way too many analogies. Oh, there it is. Why did I build that thing? That was an accident, but anyway. Anyway, it feels the same to me, and I don't like it. I think it is time for a change there. And there is also a thing that makes the game feel weird to me, is how frequent we get interrupted by level ups. And yeah, we can mitigate that by auto leveling up. But at the same time, when we do mitigate that by auto leveling up, we don't get that, well, acknowledgement that we are getting stronger, you know? And eventually, are we getting stronger? The enemies are getting stronger. That's not a word. But anyway, this build is strong. Good grief. Didn't imagine that putting machine learning on Smite would be such a strong build. It is just straight up one-shotting King Lurkers left and right. So anyway. Whoa, that's a big fine. There we go, we already found the layer. So, yeah, there is that. I want the game to be different in these aspects. I don't like how it currently works in acquiring upgrades. I would prefer if the player would choose a little bit better about their upgrades. That could be interesting. That's a weird pattern that's going on there. But anyway, and another thing that I wanted to address is how missions work. I don't like how missions work currently in this video game. Like, I know you have to, yeah, great, you have to pick missions in order to get drops and everything like that. But at the same time, in the late game, we always play either this or, like, there is only two options, which is play the highest difficulty mission possible or play the lowest difficulty mission possible, right? And also, the best way to acquire upgrades is to basically value drift a lot, you know. That is, I believe, the only way of really acquiring upgrades in large scale. Equipment, whatever it's called. So, there is that. I don't like that thing. I would prefer if that whole system got changed. That whole mission system got changed. And I could see it going in either two directions. In two directions. I don't know if the either was well placed there, but, you know. I could see it going in two directions. One of them would be to make... missions feel more balanced and everything, and yeah, that's a positive approach. But at the same time, there is... For the mission system to work, it needs to be well balanced. You know? And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not good at balancing video games. You know? I know something about statistics, and I can use that to help me somewhat balance the video games in general, but it doesn't really usually work out the way I want it to. So, yeah, I would prefer to go towards a solution that does not need balancing, that's it's stable from itself, right? And I really wanted to, instead of having a mission system like we currently do, we could have just play the game, you know, without I wouldn't say without an objective. Perhaps there will be an objective, perhaps there would be something. But at the same time, I feel like the missions that exist within the game could very much be like data centers are currently. you know, are side quests that you can do within the game to get upgrades, you know. Because there is the whole colonize thing, and because of how the game is currently set up, I never play it. And colonizing is interesting, like, it is a interesting thing. It has an interesting drawback. Now, imagine if, instead of being a mission in and of itself, there was a chance of you finding a colony tile within a ruin and growing that and expanding that and allowing that to give you resources over time. You know. Also, we got to the reality bridge planet, which is great. This is the new planet introduced in whatever this version is. I don't remember. 1.4.1. Yeah, that's fine. You know. Also, this should be a lot nicer now, but I am a little bit scared still of taking it. Let's say Clone Factory there. Attack speed, not really useful. Yeah, not really useful, not my thing. Wasn't really all that great, but what is that array of colors there? Yeah, sure, let's get more options. I don't like any of these options. I don't like any of these options. Give me more options. Yeah, more options. Whenever we... Oh god, we have 200 prod mods. Anyway... what I was saying is that I would prefer if the missions were side quests within the main game instead of, well, you choose them and you play them, you know? This is getting a little bit out of hand real quickly. Probably because of broad mod. Anyway. This is growing very fast, my weird barrier colony. Perhaps this run just exploded. Perhaps it isn't Smite that it is too strong, but the fact that I got way too many upgrades. Perhaps that was it. We will never know. Like, is that some thousands of that? I don't know, I couldn't tell. I don't think so, yeah, it isn't. But perhaps I got way too lucky on the prod mods. Couldn't tell. I like the patterns that are showing up here. I think they're really neat. Like this whole thing. And, whoa, the lag after the King Lurker is dead. I don't know what causes that spike, really. Someday I will figure that out. No, I will extend it. I want to keep talking. You know, I want to keep yapping here. Another reality is breached. Fine. Another lag spike. Yeah, that's something that's happening. Anyway, I want to integrate the missions within the rounds themselves instead of doing whatever. Like the data centers, they fit so nicely, you know. I think the data centers were quite a success in design. So, have you noticed that I have managed to tell you about the, I don't know, 3 more important things about this game? The 3 biggest systems in this game, and I have you noticed that I want to basically redo them from scratch? So, yeah, that might be a bad idea. I really like how it forms these tendrils because growth wants to build around barriers because barriers are our most expensive tile. And barriers want to barrier the least barrier tile. So we want to go farther away from your tiles in general, you know, and then it creates these kind of tendril situation, you know, this tendril-like thing that grows. And once I touched those data centers and those became my most expensive things, then it went towards that direction, which is funny. Anyway. Just think it's funny how this whole thing works. And at this point, I'm triggering this multiple times per tech. That's why it doesn't have any cooldown going on. And what about this? And also, where's the sound? Oh yeah, because this is the breached planet. It doesn't have any sound, any music. Gotta fix that. King Lurker sometimes takes his might or two, and that deals some damage. Anyway, so I want to remove missions from the game. Change how the out-of-game progression works entirely. And I want to change how you acquire upgrades. Yeah. If any of those doesn't seem like a particularly difficult task, I don't know what to tell you. I just want to tell you that it is a fairly difficult task. But I think it will pay off. I think the game will be a better game overall after this. It will be very hard for me to do that. So, it will take several months, probably, in order to do all of that. Or not. Perhaps I will hyper-focus on that and spend 70 hours a day on it. And, yeah. And finish in a couple weeks. I don't know. My mental health is not that stable, so I could predict that, sadly. Sadly, my own actions are fairly unpredictable based on several things. So there's that. And now the pattern has broke up, I think because I got way too much growth. The pattern is different. It's interesting that the pattern is different for the radius of growth to barriers that you have. Also, the more growth you have, the less precise growth will be due to how growth works. It is kind of weird to tell like that, but that's just how it works, sadly. Like, growth, instead of checking every possible situation, every possible building, I haven't scanned you. Weird. Instead of growth doing that, that would be dumb. Growth takes, I believe, 10 positions at random from the buildings that currently exist, you know? And basically just checks 10 of them and picks the best. I don't remember if it's 10, if it's 50. It's a number like that, you know? It just picks the best position between those. Instead of checking every possible one, because that would be insanity. So, King Lurker has P's amounts of damage, and I have T's amount of... whatever that means. We are comparing letters again. You know? I probably have enough growth so that the King Lurker cannot never kill me. So there's that. So whenever I'm offered a leg up opportunity to get out of this, I will probably do so. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about those destructive tendencies of mine. That impulse to basically do a lot of things, which I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to. And this is a lag fest. I wonder why, really. Probably because of this. If I turn that off, not that off, it is still a lag fest. Yeah, I haven't been able to deal any damage whatsoever to the King Lurker. And vice versa, really. So I gotta make something out of the growth situation. Yeah, timeout victory. Let's leave the planet. Let's pretend that we won. You know. Anyway. So there is it. This whole screen gotta go. This whole screen gotta go. And yeah. And the level up screen gotta change. I hope that you are as excited as I am for those things, because I have no idea of how I'll do all of those. And I think once they're done, it will be better. Anyway, please do leave a like, subscribe, all of that thing. My YouTube channel is really not that big. And I don't expect it to be all that big, really. Like never. But it really helps keep the word of the game going around. And I am in quite of a need of that right now, to be fair. So anyway, sorry about that long yapping session, but I think that was necessary. And I will post more videos of this, as I design some of those stuff, you know, even if it's very bare bones, so that you guys can interact and comment on all of that. And not that I'll get that many comments anyway, but still, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, yeah, that jazz. See ya.